Morning everyone. Today's episode I'm going to try and answer the two following questions. Why Perth? Why two brothers? Why drive to Perth for a third time? And I'm also going to provide an update on, did my brother buy the Jag we inspected just the other day? Okay, I guess to address the first big questions, why are we going to Perth for the third time, and why are we doing it in two old cars, and I guess, why Perth in general? I need to go back to 1977, and I know I touched on this in an earlier video, but I'm going to go into a little bit more detail today. So the year's 1977, I'm 14, my brother's probably just turning 13, maybe still 12. My sister had broken up with her first husband, and she'd met another fellow who originated from Perth. And for whatever reasons, I still don't know, she and her new husband, I think he was a partner at that stage, and her daughter decided to relocate to Perth, Western Australia. I guess so he could be back with his family. So I think they left in about 1976, moved back across and set up a life over there. Around the same time, my father, who had been in business as a building supply company, quite successful, enjoyed the boom of the early 1970s, had to close the business. He and Mum both worked in it, and the economy had gone to crap. Unemployment was out of control, and obviously the building industry was hit fairly badly. So they closed the business. So you've got a situation, my sister's moved to Perth with Mum and Dad's only grandchild. Mum and Dad are both out of work. Dad's too young to retire. And I think the decision was made, well, how about there's nothing stopping us here, let's all pack up our bags and move to Western Australia with my sister, which we did. Now, I've done a bit of research, and I off the top of my head I can't tell you the exact date in August 1977, but I have been able to backtrack from a fairly significant event that happened in 1977. And it really depends on whether you're a conspiracy theory person or not, but Elvis Presley died in 1977 in August. And my brother and I can both remember distinctly being on the road, on the way to Perth, when we were listening to the old AM radio in Dad's ZD Fairlane, and the announcement of Elvis Presley's death. Now, I've been able to backtrack a couple of days prior to that announcement, so I'll tell you the exact date in another video. But we left in mid-August 1977. And as I said, we packed Dad's ZD 351 Ford Fairlane, to the brim. The rear end was sagging terribly, and we left, I think, on a Thursday afternoon. And before we left, we went into Gosford, which was the main shopping centre at that time, and we bought a Super 8 movie camera and a couple of reels of Super 8 movie footage. And we left that afternoon, and I think the first night we only got to Liverpool, New South Wales, which is on the outskirts of Sydney. And we stayed in a motel that night. The reason I tell you about the Super 8 movie camera is it's played a significant role in our future trips. So the 2012 trip, which I'll talk to you about another time, and the 50th anniversary run, which we're planning for next year. Because we captured, not a lot, but we captured snippets of that very first original big trip on Super 8 film. And I'm going to include in the description of this video a link to a copy of that original footage. Now, a few years back, probably 10, 15 years ago, I had that original Super 8 footage transferred to DVD. Luckily, because I've still got a record of it. Prior to the 2012 big trip, I uploaded that footage to YouTube to another channel that we were using at that time. So the link that I'm going to put in the description to this video will be the link to our old YouTube channel and the original big trip Super 8 footage. It's blurry as, it's choppy and changing. You've got to remember, this was the first time we'd had a movie camera, and back in those days it took a couple of weeks to send the movie footage off to get developed, so we didn't know what we were doing. So the camera work's terrible, the focus is terrible, but you will get a sense of what that original big trip looked like in 1977. You'll see me all black haired and long black hair, like as it was in the 70s. My brother looking baby face, my poor old mum and dad who are both gone from us now. But I'd encourage you to have a look at that, follow that link and have a look at that footage, because that'll give you a sense of what that original big trip was like. I think that might do for this morning. Frank's just over there and I'm about to go get my morning coffee. I did promise you an update on the Jag we looked at the other day. Well, my brother didn't go ahead with it. He decided it was probably a bit too much work for the time we've got left to get ready for the 50th anniversary trip. We did see the value in it though. I mean, gee, we did contemplate, should we just buy it and keep it as a parts car for the big trip? Should we buy it as a parts car and flog off the parts? Because it had a 3.8 XK motor in it, which would have to be worth some money, and allegedly rebuilt. It had everything. They were just in boxes in the back seat and in the boot. So I guess we still sort of thinking about it in the back of our minds. But as a car for the big trip, no way. The other thing, he's already got a ZD Fairlane sitting in his workshop, probably in a better state than the Jag was that we looked at the other day. And the question is, why not just keep working on that and rebuild that as a tribute to Dad's ZD? So no, we're not going ahead with that Jag. Will there be another Jag? It's possible. He's very keen on the idea of two Jags going across. So anything's possible, but I'll keep you updated. Coffee's calling me. See you later.